Hello, good evening and welcome to the United Stand. Southampton 0, Manchester United 1. Fantastic result for Manchester United, but Jose Mourinho potentially facing a touchline ban. It is your show, it's the fan reaction show, 8 o'clock every night after a Manchester United game. We open up Skype Goldbridge, all one word. Get Skyping in and have your say. What do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about the Mourinho potential ban? Is he being targeted, as somebody just said in the live comments on there? Martial, what's going on with that? Are we going to believe these myths that Martial didn't play a minute today because Mourinho's keeping him back for Spartak Moscow? All I would say about that is maybe he will play against CSKA Moscow, whichever it is. But I remember this under the days of Van Gaal when Herrera didn't play and people used to say, oh, he's keeping him back for the next game. He never did. That never happened. So I wouldn't hold your breath about Martial starting. Did Rashford do enough? Was Phil Jones your man of the match? What do you think about Mkhitaryan? Is he doing enough or is he hiding behind stats in the first 70 minutes of a game? Were you happy that we parked the bus today? Will a better team who's got a good scoring record blow us away? Should we have, put so many defenders on there? Lots and lots for you to consider about. In relation to Mourinho, I'm just waiting for the calls to come in. Skype Goldbridge, get Skyping in. Paul Robinson says, are we surprised Mourinho parked the bus? Paul, you've called in before. Get calling in. Skype Goldbridge, all one word on Skype, funnily enough. Mourinho faces a touchline ban because he was sent to the stands in stoppage time of the game today. Some people might have missed it. Some people might not have heard of it. This was we believe it's to do with one of two things. One, hugging the linesman, which, what's wrong with that? Or two, actually, he may have encroached on the pitch and got sent to the stands. This, for me, is what happened last year. The FA targeting our manager to try and disrupt us because they don't like him. But we'll have to see if he gets a touchline ban. There's probably a good chance of it happening. Paul, can you hear me?
Yeah, Mark, you're right.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. You?
Yeah, just want to talk about the positives and the negatives. As today, I put my hands up. I didn't see the game. My internet was a mess today, so I couldn't watch it on my Fire Stick. But yeah, Mourinho parking the bus. I know people are miserable about it, but are we surprised he did it? I mean, in terms of Mourinho wants nothing more than to win. He wants 3 points. To do that, sometimes he has to, get fans disillusioned by the way we play. But he grinds out results, and these sort of results at the end of the season are the ones you look back on and say, we got 3 points from that game when we might not have, and it's added up to us being right up there. So Mourinho parking the bus, I get frustrated with it, but I'm never surprised by it.
I'll tell you what, though, it was almost a game of two sides, really, because without doubt, the second half, he couldn't get enough defenders on. He took Rashford off for Blind, he brought Smalling on and put 3 centre-backs on. I think he showed Southampton too much respect, but I've said that on my match reaction. But then the start of the game, I wouldn't have criticised him if he'd played a midfield 3. He didn't. He played a midfield 2 and had that luxury of Mkhitaryan in there as a number 10. So he attacked the game, and then in the second half he defended the game. But personally, I think that result's the best result of the lot this season, because I tell you what, getting that sort of result, I know Southampton, maybe we showed them too much respect, but grinding out a 1-0 win, we've already done the pretty stuff. We've shown today we can do the dirty stuff as well. I'm not convinced Man City can. So in some ways, I'm glad we've had one of those results because we've been on about it for a few weeks. There will be games where we're going to have to win dirty.
Last season, we would have drawn that. And that's the difference. This season, one thing that worries me is slipping back into last season's form because there's a definite timeline compared to last season for what we're doing this season. The difference is this season, we're getting the late goals and we're winning the games. But, 3 games, won them after the international break, dipped in form a little bit, stopped the attacking play. That timeline is very similar to what it was last season, but we're getting the results this season. For Lukaku, one of his criticisms was before he came here, does he get the goals that win games? Because last season with Everton, he was getting goals when they were 3-0 up. He was getting goals that didn't count.
Yeah.
He's getting goals that count now. He's getting goals that win us points. And he's got 8 and 8. So that's another positive. I mean, if you can look at it in a positive manner, which you definitely can, there's a few things you can take from it. But there's also a few negatives for sure.
Thanks for opening the show, Paul. I'm going to try and whiz through as many tonight, a couple of minutes for everybody. But thanks for coming on, and a really balanced view, especially on the parking of the bus. Call in again, please.
Right, cheers, pal.
Cheers, Paul. Just in relation to that, picking up on what Paul said there, very good point about Lukaku. There was some weird stat floating around last year. I never found out whether it was true, that Lukaku never scored goals for Everton that counted. They were always already winning when he scored all those goals. I can tell you for a fact today, watching the game, there was only really one good chance in the whole game for anybody. Southampton didn't surprise me, haven't scored many goals, don't concede many goals, didn't really have a chance. We didn't really have a chance other than Lukaku, a good chance, and he scored it. And that's the difference. It wasn't a game full of chances. There was a game of very few chances. And yeah, that's how it went. Sander, I will get you on, but I've just clicked somebody else. I think I've clicked Shane. Shane, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Mark. You right?
Yeah, good. You?
Can you hear me?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I called. I think like 2-3 days ago. We had a nice conversation. I'm just calling to talk about Fellaini.
Okay.
Because I feel like me and you are the only two Man United supporters that's consistent about Fellaini. Soon as he has a decent game, everything he's done for 4 years just gets forgotten about. This is the second match in a row that second half we have no hold of the midfield. And I know people are going to talk about Rashford or whatever, because to be honest, if Rashford wasn't English, there'll be no comparison to Martial. Martial's way better than Rashford attacking. I don't know what... Rashford is a better number 9, but Martial is a better winger. It's not even close. It's not even a debate on who's better on the left team. But
Rashford wasn't good
gets
today.
On my nerves. Every time he has a 7 out of 10 match, all Man United fans cry like he's world class. It's so annoying. He's dog shit for years now.
I tell you what, it's not something I was going to touch on because I was going to give him a week off because his effort levels were good. But you said it the other day. Effort. Why do people get lost in efforts? The reality is we lost that midfield.
Darren Fletcher had effort, but Darren Fletcher knew how to do his job at an elite level. Even if it was just literally winning the ball back and passing it to better players. Fellaini, literally, if he passes it 8 yards, I'm so happy. And I didn't grow up like that, being happy of someone passing the ball 8 yards. Like, it's pathetic. It's annoying.
We brought Herrera on in the second half because we were losing the midfield, as Nathan said. And there was I do the watch-alongs, obviously, and there was a moment when Fellaini apparently cleared it off the line. He didn't clear it off the line. One, the header was going wide.
It was getting wide.
And Bailly was behind him anyway. So it wasn't the
And what's annoying about this Fellaini thing is Herrera came on for 20-25 minutes and then won 6 tackles, like way more challenges than Fellaini. I'm not saying Herrera is world class, but he's agile, he has legs, and he has very intelligent link-up play, like 1-2s. Very good at 1-2s. He's not good at the long balls, but on the floor, Herrera is a very good football player. I don't get this debate between him or Fellaini. It's very obvious. Like, what does Fellaini offer Man United apart from coming on as a sub?
Height. That's why Mourinho likes him. It's the height, unfortunately, and I'm not a big fan of height.
Mark, can you name me a taller Man United team in your lifetime? Because I'm in my mid-20s. I can't. I'm in my mid-20s. This is the tallest team we have. Why am I still hearing about Fellaini's height in 2017? We've never had a team this tall.
I totally agree with you. I said it during the game that for me, the midfield two, if you've got no Pogba, is Herrera and Matic. It's perfectly balanced, but
because it's so static, Mark. Like, did you say how static it was in the second half?
Yeah, we got an Everton. I mean, the Everton result in a way was a bit of a. I said it at the time. More than happy to win it 4-0, but what a don't. If you didn't watch that game, you'd think it was a different game because Everton at times ran that midfield against us as well. But I've been consistent about it. I'm not jumping on the Fellaini bandwagon. I never will. He is doing well at the moment, but I'll guarantee you put that midfield against City, Liverpool, Chelsea, we'll get done.
Him, Mark. I'm more annoyed with Man United supporters because every time he comes in and have a decent game, like he did in the Champions League last week, everyone always forget that he's shit. Why have he got short-term memories when it comes to Fellaini? It's annoying. Like, it's so annoying.
Let's have a look. I've got a comment here. I want to get your opinion on it because you mentioned him at the start. I'm not. This is from Orison. Thanks for the contribution, Orison. He says, "I'm not sure Mourinho trusts Martial as much as Rashford for his starting 11. It seems, despite all his efforts, Martial's future is still uncertain under Jose Mourinho." You mentioned Rashford. He wasn't good today. I love Marcus Rashford. He wasn't good today, and Martial is our best flair player. I was stunned he didn't get a minute today, but a lot of people have been saying, "Oh, it's fine because Rashford works harder." Again, it's the effort thing.
In my opinion, I think Martial is going to start on Wednesday. I think Martial is going to be devastating in Europe, and I think Mourinho knows that. I'm not saying Mourinho likes Martial, I think it's 50-50, just like you. But I do think, specifically today, I get why Rashford was on up until the 70th minute and wants Martial on. Rashford in the second half was playing left back. In my opinion, it was left back.
Yeah.
I didn't see him forward once. It was playing left back. But I think Jose likes that when you work hard and track back. But in my opinion, just for this match specifically, I really do think he's going to play against Moscow away. Because I think he's going to be devastating in Europe, Martial. And I don't think... Why so many United fans, like, why do we bum lick Dembele and Mbappe? And I don't feel like we celebrate having Martial and Rashford enough. Like, I don't look at Mbappe and think he's better than Martial. Not even in a million years. I know football talent. I remember in 2003, people were saying, oh, Ronaldo, he's not Beckham. He was never going to be nothing, blah, blah. He dribbles too much skills. The same thing I'm hearing about Martial now. I'm not blind. I trust my eyes over stats. I trust my eyes over opinion. I know a good footballer when I see one. Martial is an unbelievable, talented footballer. And we need to appreciate that.
Nathan, another great call. Really enjoy having you on. I think we'll have to sort out getting you on as a regular. But yeah, really
Top
good
man,
points.
Mark, man.
Cheers, Nathan. Thanks for calling in.
Top man.
Cheers. Very good point there about Ronaldo. I'm a little bit older than Nathan, who said he was in his mid-20s. And I tell you what, I'll argue with anybody about Martial. He is good enough to be a Ballon d'Or winner. And I say that totally with a straight face. And I'll argue it with anybody. He is our best talent at Manchester United, bar none. But I ain't going to get stressed about what Mourinho does with him. Whether he likes him or not, if Mourinho doesn't play him, Mourinho will lose. Because that team today, against a good side, won't be able to defend like that. And for me, Southampton struggled to score goals. And at about 65 minutes, he should have took Rashford off, put Martial on, and been brave and gone and got the second, third and fourth goals. Because there was so much space. He went the other way, which surprised me because Southampton created nothing. We could have beaten them 3 or 4-0 today. There was so much space and we went defensive. But I'm happy because we won. And that's what matters. And we've got Crystal Palace next week, and I'm sure we'll win that as well. Right, I'm going to get a few more on, but Xander's been ringing me, and he did a good job for us today on That's Football. So let's give him a bit of airtime. God knows what he's going to say. Can you hear me, pal?
I can. It's poor. I can hear you quite poorly, but I can hear you just about. Yeah, I just want to quickly say I heard a lot of people being quite negative in the fact that Martial didn't come on today. In my opinion, it was completely the right decision. I think Mourinho would have planned to bring him on, but seen that we weren't on the ball today. We didn't look sharp. We didn't look up for it. And the way the game was going, they had all the possession in that second half. They were dominating. They looked threatening, in my opinion. And I think if he took Rashford off for Martial, Martial obviously willing to track back less and do less defensive duties, I think you could have seen that right-hand side for Southampton, our left-hand side, exposed, and then attack down that side. So I think...
But can I just say there, you know what? If we brought Martial on with 25 minutes and we didn't have such a static midfield that couldn't get the ball out, and we actually had somebody who can pass the ball out of midfield and got the ball to Martial, there was so much space, I think we would have won it 3 or 4-0. So
yeah, but
Martial was a victim of a crap side today because there was so much space. Rashford was so poor going forward. Bring Martial on, let him play the position he should play, left wing, put midfielders in the midfield who can actually get the ball from back to front, because we couldn't do that today, and Martial would have torn them apart. Effectively, Martial was a victim today because everybody was crap at getting the ball from back to front, so we had to play defensive. I mean, Mourinho came out like we were playing in LA. He said it was a lot hotter. We could train any time of the day in Manchester and it wouldn't be anywhere near this hot, and my players were tired. I was like, it's Southampton, not bloody Mallorca. It's Southampton, mate. It's not, and it's nearly October. But Mourinho, I love Mourinho. Everyone knows that, and he said we were very poor today at getting the ball out from the back to the front. We weren't sharp enough. So yeah, maybe it didn't suit Martial, but he deserves to be playing.
He deserves to be playing, but Mark, we don't have that midfield that can get the ball to him. So Mourinho's working with the team he's got. I'm sure if he had Pogba, he might have leaned slightly more towards Martial. But he was working with what he had today with Fellaini and Herrera, Matic today. By the way, Matic and Herrera, not poor passers of the ball by any stretch of the imagination, but he was working with what he had. And how the game was going, the circumstances, I think to shut up shop, park the bus and get the 3 points is a fantastic decision from Mourinho. I like that. He's not set in his ways like Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp, to an extent, have no plan B. they play one way and that's it. And if that's not working, well, then they're not getting the 3 points. Mourinho, I'm sure he would have loved to bring Martial on and build his confidence, get his goals up and continue his momentum. But the game wasn't suited to him. The game was suited to a hard-working left winger like Rashford, and so he kept him on. And I think that was a good decision from him.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I read a lot of the comments, and I think there are some United fans tonight who are just sort of putting up a little bit of a hand and saying, look, I'm not totally convinced. I think, the results we're getting at the moment are good. The opposition we're playing aren't that good. And at some point, we will come unstuck against better sides. And I said it against Stoke. I said when we drew that was 2 points lost. And loads of people were saying, no, Mark, it's a point gain. Stoke's a difficult place to go. And I said, nah. Chelsea, City, Liverpool go to Stoke and they'll batter them. What's happened today? Chelsea's gone there, battered the same team we couldn't beat. We should have beat Stoke. I'm not dissing United. We should have beat them. We made 2 defensive mistakes. We should have won that game. But, a decent side goes there and batters them. I'll say the same about Southampton. City, Chelsea wouldn't need to sit back against that Southampton side today. They would have just expressed themselves and roller coasted them in the second half. And I was surprised that we actually risked defending a 1-0 lead. Because Southampton created nothing. And I was surprised we invited a team like that onto us. But maybe, like Mourinho said, we were tired for some reason, because every other game this season, think about it, Swansea, away from home, we just sod it. Well, let's go and win the game. Let's let the horses free. That was Mourinho's words against Swansea. And I felt today we could have done that. But then the flip side of the coin is, to me, it's the most satisfying result of the season, because I wanted to see us grind a 1-0 out. And now we've done it and we know we can do it.
I just think today everyone has an off day from now and again. And today, the majority of the players had one. So he adjusted to that. He adjusted his team to that. And I think he saw that if he played, set the horses free, like you say, like Mourinho says, we would have got exposed at the back and they would have got something from the game. So I think I like how he changes his play style up, adjusts to the specific game and gets the 3 points. He's a winner. He doesn't care about, obviously he often tries to put on a good performance and we've seen that throughout the season so far. But today he felt that wasn't, we weren't able to do that. And so he doesn't care. All he cares about is the 3 points. And I share that desire with him.
Thanks for coming on, Xander.
Cheers, mate.
Speak to you soon. Ta-da.
Ciao.
Get calling in, Skype Goldbridge. I'm just going to whiz through some live comments because I realise that live comments are very important. One of them just stood out to me. Now, I don't know whether Sharif Ismail is joking, but he says, come on, Mark, Stoke are a decent team. They're not. They're not a decent team at all. They play very well against United because it's their cup final and Mark Hughes doesn't like us, but they're not a good team and I hope he gets the sack. I don't like Mark Hughes. He doesn't like United. We're still ahead of Chelsea on points. Yes, bad. We're doing very, very well at the moment. We've got Crystal Palace next week as well. I mean, we should win that game. And if we win that game, then the start of the season's been fantastic. And I will bring everybody back, actually, from any... If you're thinking about leaping into negativity, don't. I understand the Martial thing, but I'm totally relaxed about it because if Mourinho wants to ignore Martial because he doesn't like him, then Mourinho's basically punching himself in the face because it's going to cause him more damage than it will Martial. Southampton today was... I looked at Everton and Southampton without Pogba and I thought, Everton always get a good result against us. Koeman's never lost at Old Trafford. That's a tough game. Battered them 4-0. Southampton away, I thought, that's the sort of place that if you're going to be a title winner, you've got to go and win that. And I wasn't, and I was never convinced that Southampton were a bad side. They weren't conceding goals, they just weren't scoring them. And the game went exactly as I thought it would. Very, very tight. One chance won it. Lukaku, I haven't watched it back enough times, but apparently the header was good, but the follow-up from a yard out, he didn't connect very well. It could have been the miss of all time, apparently. He did not connect on it very well, so I look forward to watching that match today. But the reality is, that was the only good chance of the game. We scored it in a tight affair, and that game, we've got 3 points away to Southampton now. And I'm not saying that other teams won't go there and get it, but we've got to also put it into perspective. Yeah, City might go to Southampton and beat them 12-0, and Chelsea could do it as well. But for United, we were 6th last year, and like Paul said at the start, yeah, of course, we want to go all the way with City, and we want to push them out of the way and take the title. Of course we do. But let's not forget, it's a few years since we've done that. We've been nowhere near it under Moyes and Van Gaal. Under Mourinho, we were nowhere near it last year. We finished 6th. So the progress for us, we're reaching for the stars, and if we can grab those stars, it's going to be a fantastic year. But we might have to expect that you know, it might not always go our way, but the results we're getting, you can't argue with it. This is championship form that we're seeing from United at the moment, regardless of whether people say, oh, it's not great opposition. It is. To go to Southampton and win, to beat people like Everton at home, yeah, of course United should be doing that, but we've not been doing it for 4 years, so it is something to celebrate. And you've got to do it like today sometimes. And as I said on my match reaction, it's not had a lot of publicity, but the clean sheet's massive, because if you get clean sheets, it makes life a lot easier. Anyway, let's take another call. Alex has been trying to call in for a while. Let's give him a shot. Alex, can you hear me?
Yeah.
How you doing? How you doing? All right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good. What was it you wanted to speak about, pal?
I just wanted to speak about really the whole Fellaini situation. I agree with you. I don't think he's a United player.
Well, there was a comment there, actually, I can't remember who said it, but they said that if Mourinho continues picking Fellaini like he does, it will cost him his job at Manchester United. That's a hell of a statement. Do you think it's that bad? I mean, I've always said we can't win the title with Fellaini in the team, but at the moment we're doing quite well.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll lose his job, but we won't win the league with Fellaini in our starting 11. Definitely not.
Who would you rather see playing? I mean, Pogba's not fit at the moment, so would it be Herrera for you?
Yeah, Herrera. He's like 10 times a better player.
And what did you think? I mean, I've got to ask you this as well. What did you think about... Who was your man of the match today? Did you see the game?
Yeah, I saw it. I think it was probably Phil Jones. He really played... He was solid at the back today.
Yeah, he was. He was very good. It's, you know, I wouldn't say surprised me. I think Phil Jones' issue is always to stay fit. And if he stays fit, then, you know, the potential's there. We've got Crystal Palace next week, which I'll be stunned if we don't win that game. Then it's the international break. Then it is Liverpool. A lot of people talking about Anthony Martial. Would you have brought him on today? Do you think it was the right game for him, or do you think Mourinho was right just to keep it very defensive?
When I was watching the game, I was screaming, bring Anthony Martial on. We need his pace, we need his skills, because the second half of the game was just a bit slow.
It was a bit of I wouldn't say boring, because it's never boring watching United, but I didn't like the way how defensive we went. But still, as I said, I mean, I don't want to be negative, because it was a fantastic 3 points. And but having said that, we are getting back to the old Manchester United that I sort of knew for many years, where even when you're winning, you're criticising, and that's where we should be. And I know there are people tonight saying, "Oh, what are you moaning? We won for." I'll pull them up, because that is a mentality of a Liverpool or an Arsenal. Oh, just because you win, everything's all right. Being a proper United team, you should still be looking at the negatives even when you win, because that's what winners do. Where are you calling from, Alex? I presume it's your first time on the show.
Yeah, it's my first time. I've been watching it for ages. I'm calling from Manchester. Actually.
Manchester. Far away from Old Trafford?
Yeah, it's a good old tram ride away. Not that far.
Okay. Do you get down there much?
I haven't been there in about a year and a half, but yeah, I used to have a membership, so I kind of went there a lot.
Okay. Well, thanks for calling, Alex. I've seen you calling for a while there, so thanks for coming on, and please do call again.
Thank you.
Cheers, pal.
Yeah, thank you. Will do. Bye.
Manchester lad Alex there. Okay, let's have a look what people are saying in the live comments. Pogboom says this kid talks more sense than Xander. That's not hard, really. And Hughes wasn't a legend when he told his QPR players to quit playing. Oh, don't get me started on Hughes. Tubes is on about it. Look, Mark Hughes said in an interview when Chelsea played United, I think it was around 2006, that he wanted Chelsea to win. If anybody saw that horrible day when City won the league against Hughes' QPR, City needed to score 2 goals in stoppage time to win the league. QPR thought they were going down. City scored a goal, and by that time, the other game that mattered to QPR had finished. Hughes came to the edge of the pitch and told his players, doesn't matter, we're safe. Basically told them to stop them playing. And then City went and cut through them like a hot knife through butter when QPR had been playing like their lives depend on it. Hughes, screw that. I ain't bothered. As a player, he did well for United, but I'm not interested in Hughes. And his attitude towards United as a manager has always been pretty poor. So that's what I think of Hughes. If he gets the sack, he gets the sack. You need to focus, as a manager, he needs to focus on getting results against other teams instead of obsessing against us twice a year. Sorry. Do we still need a left winger? I still do think that we do need a winger to come into the team and put a decent cross into the box. Yeah, I do. Okay, right. I'm going to end it there because it was only meant to be a very quick half an hour. Take a few of your calls, talk about the game today. Very, very quickly, in relation to Southampton and Manchester United, Mourinho potentially faces a touchline ban. He was sent to the stadium, sent off for something very frivolous. Apparently, it could have been for a little friendly hug with the linesman or encroaching on the pitch. But the referee made a big deal of it, ran to the side and sent him off. Now, Mourinho's been in trouble before for kicking water bottles, despite other managers showing aggression on the touchline. So I would expect the FA to come down hard on him. Any excuse to come down hard on Mourinho, they'll do it. And to me, it just feels like another way for the governing bodies of football to sort of try and disrupt United. They won't like the fact that Golden Boy Pep is getting a bit of pressure from United going with them toe-to-toe. And all these people who keep saying City are going to run away with this title, take a look at the Premier League. They might have a better goal difference than us, but we are exactly the same points. So they're not running away from anybody. We're going toe-to-toe with them, and I think we'll do it for a long time. Plus, it's Chelsea City next week, and we've got Palace at home. So if City go and get 3 points against Chelsea, fair play, because one of them's going to drop points. And at the moment, I look at that league table, and it's United, Chelsea or City going for the title. So next week, beat Palace, let them two fight it out, and we'll see how it goes. But it's going very, very well for United so far this season. Thanks everyone for watching. Please do drop a like. Support everyone who's been on the video because it's not easy to come on and everyone does a great job. The next Skype show is not far away. It's only 48 hours. Monday night is Skype Goldbridge at 8 o'clock. So if you didn't get on tonight, do call us in again. Tomorrow we've got Sunday Night Live at 8 o'clock. I've got a special guest on tomorrow actually with me and Ross. Really looking forward to that. So join us for that. Who knows what tomorrow will hold in relation to Manchester United news. But Sunday night show is always a good show. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Enjoy the Saturday night that you have ahead of you. And it's going well for United. It's going well. And it might not be the goal fest match of the day you'd hope for, but it will still be a worthwhile watching match of the day. That one chance, that one goal from Lukaku, and a clean sheet. Massive. Absolutely massive. We won today, and it was a difficult place to go. And I haven't got a problem with people being a little bit, you know, highlighting issues. That's fine. But we did win as well, and don't forget it. Thanks for watching. Speak to you soon. Well done to everyone on the live comments. You're absolutely fantastic. And I think it's been a very good day for Manchester United. So thanks, everybody.